We're going to have a look at two cafes in Fremantle that are side by side. South Fremantle, South Freo Continental, which I didn't eat at, and the Roasting Warehouse, South Fremantle, where I did eat and have a coffee. And as the name suggests, both of these places are in South Fremantle. And the reason I went here is I intended to go to this cafe for breakfast, third wheel. Got there and discovered they don't open until 7:30 on a Sunday morning. Well, that was stupid planning on my part. I wasn't going to sit around and wait for 20 minutes. So I headed back up South Terrace to these cafes that I'd gone past. And last time I was down this way, I said to myself, I'm going to stop here and try these places out. And I went past this long wall of art. And I thought, oh, I'll just stop and take some, good old Instagram type photos of the bike and then go and get some coffee and breakfast. Now, this is quite a good street for cycling. Lots of cyclists going up and down it. There you can see there's some these kind of big pads at some of the intersections to slow down the traffic. Vehicles don't move that fast, but at this time of the morning, traffic was moving very slowly. And look, the front camera, I managed to get sunscreen all over the lens, so I didn't get much good footage this morning at all. But nice big bike rack here in between the two cafes. Like I said, they're side by side. Residents of Five Dock would recognise that style of horrible old architecture. But that's the Continental one. That's the place I didn't eat at. But as you can see, they've got a nice outdoor eating area and lots of bike parking all around. And after I got here, I was one of the first people to arrive. This group of cyclists turned up. And what caught my eye when I was here last week was this rack was kind of full of bikes, probably fuller of bikes than this. So I thought, cyclists are stopping here. Food and coffee must be pretty good. I'll have to give it a go as well. And it looks like an old petrol station forecourt. Oh well. And if you don't like it, well, there's another cafe over there you can go to. Breakfast this morning was Turkish eggs. So that's kind of, labna with spices and stuff. And what I did is I plonked the camera on my table and I tried to photograph the cyclists going by because I thought, well, I've got 20 minutes to kill. I might as well capture as many as possible. Now, I initially tried doing video, but that didn't really seem to work out that well. So I set the camera up to, I had to press the button every time someone went through my field of view. And as you can see, there's a whole mix of people coming and going. There's your lycra-clad mammals, and then, there's people that are more casual, some kind of electric, goodness knows what there. And what I did like to see was, casually dressed people going past, like that lady. Obviously that's not too casual, but there was quite a bit of it, and I was a bit slow on the mark and missed quite a few people going past because obviously I'm, eating breakfast, drinking coffee, and I didn't want to risk spilling my coffee by, reaching out to have to stab the button on the top of the camera to capture these people as they went by. So anyway, the food was good. Coffee was great. Really liked it. Service was a bit slow, but I guess there's a lot of trouble these days training good staff. Now I did a U-turn a bit further on because I saw this dad and daughter riding on the footpath, and I thought, I just wanted to try and capture the vibe here with the photography and video this particular morning. And this lady, I think, is the epitome, of South Fremantle cash. She's got the basket on the back, casual bike, not wearing a helmet, just wearing, a sun hat, riding in a dress and sandals, and I reckon she was between 70 and 75 years old. I mean, how good is that to be, just tootling around at that age, going out to get a coffee on a Sunday morning on the bike. And there was lots and lots of people like that. It's not, lycra heaven down here by any stretch of the imagination. There's lots of families, kids, casually dressed people going out to get a coffee, going down the beach, all that kind of stuff. Now, at this cafe, I counted the bikes. There's 2 there in the racks. Then there's 4 there, including 1 in the shrubbery. There's another 4 there. And there were another 2 parked around the corner and another 2 against the wall. So how many is that? I lost count, about a dozen. And I think that just shows you, if that 10 or 12 people that turned up by cars, with each person coming in their own car, which is kind of normal these days, just imagine how much road space would be required to park all those bikes. It's just food for thought. Anyway, yes, these two places down in Frio, the Roasters. Look, I'll definitely be back there. There's some other things on the menu, and I like that outdoor seating. I like being out in the fresh air. I like a quiet street where you can watch the world go by. And one thing I didn't mention is I was actually able to hear the cyclists approaching. That's how I knew how to when to take a photo, because there just wasn't a lot of vehicle traffic to drown out your breakfast. Place next door also looked really interesting, so I want to try that if I've got time. But yeah, South Freo, lots of good cafes, lots of great places to ride to. The riding down there is good. It's easy to ride there from Perth. It really is heaven on a stick. I've got to say that.